Question for you. Why are you creating content? All right, a lot of the content that I put out on this channel, on the podcast, is about you should be creating more content, and why aren't you creating more content, and how can I get you off the couch and get you creating more content? This one's gonna be a little bit different, okay? I see a lot of people out there who are creating content, that might be written content, it might be video content, it might be actually starting a podcast, starting a YouTube show, all that sort of thing. And I get a lot of messages and a lot of emails and texts from people that are like, hey, what do you think? I'm starting a podcast, what should I do? Should I do it this way or that way? Like, how do I do a podcast? And I'm always like responding, I'm always like, hey man, why? Why are you creating a podcast? Why do you want to grow a YouTube channel? Why do you want to put out more content, right? It's got to be framed in the context of a bigger goal, a bigger objective, a mission, the vision that you have for your company, for your brand, for yourself, your family, whatever that is, right? So I want to challenge you, if you are creating content, okay, give yourself a little pat on the back. I'll give you a little golf clap. That's great. That is the first step, getting outside your comfort zone and get the reps in and doing all that good stuff, right? But I see a lot of content out there that's just misdirected, and it's just like, it's content for the sake of content. And in this day and age, 2023, kicking off the year, there's no shortage of content out there. Of course, we have all these social media channels and podcasts and everything, right? There is, in my opinion anyway, a shortage of really good quality focused content that adds a lot of value to people's lives or businesses, whatever the particular situation is, okay? So I would challenge you to get clear on why you're creating this content, right? Because it takes time, it takes energy, it takes money to create and distribute content consistently. Trust me, I've been doing it for like almost a decade, right? Actually over a decade. It takes a lot to produce content. So you want to make sure that you're not just doing it because, it's something that you see people like me or other people doing it, right? Like, you have a goal in mind. There's something that you want to achieve with that content. So let me give you a couple of examples, okay? So for me, owning a business, Contractor Dynamics, we have a national business. We work with clients in all different states, right? We have a national audience of contractors, people that are in the construction industry. So my content, every time I sit down here in this chair, in this studio, or every time I'm going somewhere to produce content, is always with the objective of how can I add value? How can I help people in our industry improve their situations, improve their businesses, improve their lives, maybe think a little bit differently about something, maybe focus a little bit more, maybe about, how can they be more intentional? How can they become a better leader? Things like that. So I'm very clear on the objectives that I have for my content. I'm very clear on the audience that I have. I'm very clear on distributing that content to where our audience is going to see it. And in turn, that, helps me to achieve the goals that I have for my content, okay? So very crystal clear on that. Now, what I see from a lot of contracting companies is they are kind of doing the same thing. It's like the same blueprint as like someone like me might be doing, where let me start a podcast, let me, create written content, let me be out there on YouTube and just putting my content out to like a national audience, a broad audience. And that is not necessarily a bad thing if that is your objective. If you have an objective, a long-term goal, a mission, a vision of being able to reach people all over the place and being able to help them improve their lives, maybe it's, your faith, maybe it's your, getting over an addiction, maybe it's your fitness and health and habits and things like that. That's great. Helping people transform and live and think and act differently. That's awesome. Okay. For most contracting companies though, I believe that that's misdirected. I believe that they have an intention of using content to somehow grow their business, okay? And if that is your case, then your content should be focused on a local level. It should not be focused on trying to reach everyone in the roofing industry or everyone in the contracting industry or everyone in the entire country, okay? You should be focused on that local level if you have an intention of using your content to build your business. Build your business in terms of generate, more revenue, in terms of attracting top quality talent, people that want to join your mission, in terms of maybe building some strategic partner relationships, maybe like realtors or other contractors or other businesses that you can refer business to, and they can refer business to you and things like that. So if that's your case, if that's your situation, which I assume is most of you, and I'm going through this episode right now is because I'm helping or guiding at least one of our clients right now on starting his own podcast, which he just started. And I said, don't try to do what everyone else is doing and try to target everyone. Focus on your specific area, okay? Your content should be focused locally. Like, get guests on that are other local business owners, other people that are known in your area. Maybe it's an influencer in your area, or, someone that owns a few restaurants, or maybe a politician, or, someone that owns a lot of property that people know about. Maybe it's a local, radio personality, whatever that person might be. Maybe it's the local football coach that knows a ton of people, right? So your content should be locally focused on getting those people onto your show so that you can, ask them questions, have a conversation, interview them, and then you can put that content out to your local market and make those people famous, right? The high school football coach, the real estate agent, the person that owns 5 restaurants, right? Help them to promote their brands. And in turn, you're going to be promoting yourself. You're going to become someone that is worth knowing because you built all these different relationships. Like, you're making them famous. And by making them famous, you're going to become famous yourself within that, I call it 5 mile famous, in that 5 mile or 10 mile or 30 mile radius, whatever that might be. Okay. So that should be your focus as a contracting company that's starting a podcast or a YouTube channel. Focus on your local area and just, make a list of 50 people or 100 people or 20 people, whatever it is, your hit list that you want to get on your show. And start building relationships with them, start emailing them, start calling them, start stopping by their shop or whatever it might be, and say, hey, I got this thing. It's, called the, St. Louis Business Podcast. And we're going to interview business owners in St. Louis. We're going to get some video content out there. We're going to get some audio content out there. We'll make some reels for Instagram. It's a way to help you promote your business. It's a way for us as a community to band together to promote local and shopping local and supporting your local economy and building the community and things like that. Like, most people are willing to get on board with that. Most local business owners are going to be excited about doing that. Now, most of them won't be comfortable getting on video or getting on podcasts or whatever, but you're going to find that, a certain percentage of them are. So if that's your goal, if your goal with your content truly, like, if you don't have a goal, then get clear on that, right? Get out the old journal and do some journaling on, like, why am I going to create content? Don't just create content because, like, Joe is telling you to, right? Have a goal in mind. My goal is to build my business, then yeah, do what I just said. Interview other local business owners. Interview some of your team members, right? Part of your marketing for your local business is to attract other people in the area or outside the area, but in the area, that want to join your company. Be like, man, this company's got some cool stuff going on. I see them everywhere on social media. They're really, thriving. I want to be a part of what they have going on. Like, that is a big part of your reason for creating content, is to be an attractive magnet for people that want to join your mission. Okay. So as a local contracting company, I would focus on that. I do not have a local contracting company, but if I did, that would be probably one of the first things I would do, is to start where I am at the Jersey Shore Business Podcast, right? Just interviewing other local, business owners and things like that, and just building my sphere of influence, building my audience like that. Okay. Now, if you're, a sales rep or, something else, and you want to create content, it's the thing to do, you can generate business from it. If you don't have, and I've seen this, I'm thinking of one person I know specifically, a pretty good friend in the industry, who has been wanting to create more content for years, but he struggles to, and he'll start and then he'll stop. He'll start and he'll stop. And he struggles to be consistent with it because he doesn't have a strong reason why. It's like, well, why do you want to create this content? Like, what do you think you're going to get out of it? Like, what do you want to contribute to the world? Like, he's not tied into that why. And if you don't have that why, then it's going to get really hard, because creating content like this is not easy, right? I'm sitting here in my studio on a Monday morning. I have a million things I could be doing right now, but I'm committing the time and energy to creating content because I have a strong why. and I know that we have a content publishing schedule that we need to stick to, okay? So like, I know why we're creating this. If you don't know why you're doing something, then you're not gonna do it, you're not gonna stick to it when it becomes very difficult to do or when there's other things to do, right? So get clear on why you're creating content. Yeah, everyone has a story to tell, okay? Yes, everyone does have a story to tell. However, the currency in today's world is time, is attention, is energy, right? So why is someone going to be interested in your story? How is your story going to benefit others? Like, I have a million stories I can sit here and tell, but if it's not going to be a benefit to you, it's not going to help you improve your life, your business, whatever it might be, then like, it's not very valuable, okay? So you've got to think about like every piece of content that you put out there, it's got to have some benefit to your audience. Now that benefit doesn't need to be like it helps people make money or it helps people lose weight or whatever it might be. That benefit could be that it entertains them. That benefit could be that it helps them understand that other people go through challenges, right? And they're not alone. That's really powerful. It can help, inspire people to take action. It can help give people tangible steps to take action, which is what I'm doing right here, giving you tangible steps to say, hey, if you're going to create content, like here's what I recommend you do as a local contracting business in order to actually grow your business, okay? So figure out why you're creating content. There is no right or wrong answer, right? But you've got to be clear on that, because the clearer you are on that, the more valuable, the more focused your content is going to be. And you're not going to be contributing to all the noise. You're going to be able to cut through the noise and connect with the people that you ultimately want to connect to and the people that you want to impact. So let me know if that makes sense. Drop a comment below if you're watching this on YouTube or Facebook or anywhere else. If you are watching this somewhere else or listening to it on the podcast, send me a DM on Instagram at HeyJosephHughes. Let me know what you thought. Let me know what questions you have about creating content, about sticking with it, about being consistent. I truly want to help. And the goal of this episode is to challenge you to ask yourself, why are you creating content? Don't just create content for content's sake, okay? There's got to be a bigger mission, a bigger vision, a bigger reason why you're doing it, and that's how you're going to have a bigger impact.